Auroch Digital says, we're excited to reveal that Nira Veirath will be voiced by Charlana's art, Alanah Pearce. Like everyone here at Auroch Digital, Alanah has been a longtime fan of Warhammer 40,000. You can find out more about her and her love for Warhammer in this interview. Is this her actual art, or did she trace this from someone else too? Or are you trying to make it seem like she did that when... Anyways, I digress. Savvy says she got the job because her boyfriend, who is also voicing. The talentless art thief keeps getting work thanks to nepotism and nothing more. Millions out there who can actually voice act, but none of these people care about quality. They always just enrich friends. I will say, from Warhammer's perspective in Warhammer 40K, that from a marketing perspective, this is one of those, even if she sucks at it, she is a brand at this point. Not necessarily a bunch of positive stuff from it, but still a brand, a recognized brand, just her as a person, that has a large enough following that if you sign her on, you could use to advertise and maybe get a bump in attention on your game, which they're doing here. And I do find it curious because her boyfriend is a voice actor, how she ends up, I don't know, being a voice actor as well. Very strange, very strange. And Demian says, boyfriend voices main character. Boyfriend uses influence. Gets casted in same video game. Welcome to the games industry, everybody. It's literally just about who you know. And people that don't like Madame Savvy or Endymion could be like, oh, these people are just coping. They're just jealous that there's other people in the industry that are successful and XYZ, the other thing. But take a step back from this and look at it for what it is. What are the odds that her boyfriend is a talented voice actor? And just so happens that she all of a sudden is a very talented voice actor as well. So much so that she is better than all the other people that could have been voice actors for the game. It just, I don't know. It makes you wonder. It brings up some questions, we'll say. Christina Tacey says, a company going from British voice actors and actually trying to LA-based celebrity cameos is so sad, man. Heels versus Babyface as, will she be giving herself a writing credit too? Lavender says, hey, it's the lead developer of God of War. I mean, a writer on God of War. I mean, contributed. I mean, wrote a cookbook. I mean, once saw God of War dev across the street. Anyway, I'm glad the head creative writer at Warhammer is getting voice acting work. That's a banger tweet. And her boyfriend is a lead VA on the project. Curious. She is terrible at handling the online drama that she caused to herself, but she is kind of chill and makes good content. I would actually agree with that, by the way. I don't necessarily hate her content. I think she's an excellent content creator when she sticks to the actual content that she creates. When she veers from that, gets into the drama, or talks about what was it? Parents having kids or disabilities, to push her own career further and try to create a job for her in the industry. It's like, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's not a disability to have a kid. That whole situation was a mess. Not to mention when I made my video that was critical about her and the many missteps that she's had along the way, where I just explained each of them in as much detail as I could find. And then that video magically got taken down. And then mysteriously, like a day later, she came up with a video that was countering everything in my video, but then never named me or said it was to me specifically. Made me wonder if she had something to do with my video coming down. Who would ever know? Who would ever know? Very strange, very strange. He says, she actually is God of War. Every copy has a tiny Alanah Pearce compressed into the disc, and she frantically runs around the console, puppeteering all the characters. Every time Kratos walks, a tiny Alanah is there with strings frantically puppeteering him in real time. Is that true? I hear that she drew a lot of the 40K art herself, which is pretty cool. Again, for those that don't know the history of what I'm talking about right now, she traced someone else's artwork, put it up on her Instagram, took credit for her artwork herself that she put out there, and it was fantastic. It looked amazing. Problem is, there was literally just tracing someone else's work and then saying that she did it. And then when she got called out, she acted like she gave credit originally, and she didn't. She tried to go back in time and be like, "Oh no, here's the credit." It's like, "No, you got found out that you're trying to just I just sketched this while I was waiting at the airport," or whatever she said, and in a few minutes or 20 minutes. I'm like, no. That's not definitely not. Not to mention the many accusations of somehow appearing as taking credit for things that she did not do at Sony Santa Monica, and then mysteriously seeing videos scrubbed that had that information, that harmful opinions discovered. It's fascinating stuff. This is the developer, Auroch Digital, Bristol development studio for Bolt Gun 2. And this is the game. Doesn't look terrible. It gives me a lot of SNES vibes for Doom. Maybe a little bit higher quality, obviously. But I find it fascinating that they're going with Alanah Pearce for this. I really do. Really do. Bloody Disgusting, a bunch of outlets are covering this too, by the way. Bloody Disgusting says Alanah Pearce to voice Nira Vareth in Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2. A few weeks back, Auroch Digital revealed that Space Marine Malam Kato, voiced by Rahul Kohli, will have company in the upcoming Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2 in the form of a remorseless sister of battle in Nira Vareth. The dev team has now revealed that Nira Vareth will be voiced by none other than Alanah Pearce. Cyberpunk 2077, Gears 5. I mean, man, she really is finding her way around the industry and getting credits as we go here. Curious. It does make you wonder. Alongside the announcement, Auroch Digital has released an interview with Pearce to talk about Bolt Gun 2, her character, and why the Warhammer is awesome. Oh, is that so? Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2 voice acting a battle sister with Alanah Pearce. Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2 is coming out next year, featuring the new character Nira Vareth of the Adepta Sororitas, fighting alongside the first game favorite Malam Kato. Even though the game is still deep in development, we caught up with Nira's voice actor, Alanah Pearce, a content creator, actor, and former games journalist, for a quick chinwag about Bolt Gun 2, her character, and why Warhammer is awesome. Oh, again, if she's good at it, hey, props to her. I'm happy for her that she's finding success in the game industry. I think the backlash and negativity comes in the form of, why is she continuing to land positions when there are other people that you could argue are far more talented or able to do so? And really, does it come down to it's just connections, and that's all it is? And if that's the case, is this remnants of Gamergate, where journalists are exchanging positive content for positions in the game industry, or buddy to move up in the industry? It does make you wonder. That's all I'm saying. Warhammer community, how long have you been into Warhammer, and how did you get into it? Alanah, I've been into Warhammer since I was about 13. I was always into video games, but as I hit my teen years, I started poking around in other nerdy hobbies. I went into a games workshop one day and walked away with James Swallow's novel, Deus Sanguinis, and continued reading Blood Angels books all through high school. I still have them sitting in a box in my mom's house, back home in Australia. From there, I've branched out into other facets of Warhammer, including recently starting my first painting project, which I'm super excited about. Okay. Interesting. I say interesting because Madame Savvy continued and said, I tried looking up how much of a fan she is. This is the only time she's mentioned Warhammer. Warhammer 40K has just references to other stuff. Such a big fan. Could totally see the passion. 4 tweets in her entire Twitter history. 4 tweets referencing it. Okay, well, I intentionally fall asleep to Warhammer lore at this point. Like, really, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. GG, Warhammer. But then they're also pseudo trademarking the registered trademark after Warhammer. I attribute most of my love for the Gears of War franchise to its books. Also, Warhammer books are great. By the way, I'm not questioning that she didn't read the Warhammer books. I do side with Savvy here, where I'm like, it is curious that she claims to be such a massive fan of Warhammer, and she has 4 tweets that Savvy was able to find. At least maybe there's more. 4 tweets ever. Okay. I don't know. I feel like if you search Smash JT and Chrono Trigger, you might find more than 4 tweets about it. That's all I'm saying. What is your favorite Warhammer video game? Oh, there are so many. What a great way. So many good Warhammer games. I have trouble choosing a favorite. But the one I return to the most is definitely Darktide. It's pretty hard to sell me on online multiplayer games in general, but Darktide is the only thing that has come close to giving me the hilarious, anxious camaraderie I love so much in similar older games. I also think Rogue Trader is one of the best CRPGs of all time with zero exaggeration. That game is so big and so impressive in pretty much every facet. And of course, Space Marine 2 was an absolute blast. You've done voice work for your fair share of video game characters, but this is your first from the worlds of Warhammer. How does it compare to other roles you've taken on? I'm always excited to be part of the video game projects, literally every single one. But I will admit, there's something really special about getting to be a part of Adeptosaurus. I just think they're an incredibly cool faction, righteous, furious, incredibly devoted, and a mix of incredible warriors and charitable healers. Celestians specifically are basically the best of that. I'll also admit that, much more casually, I love that we have partially matching white hair. Battle Sisters are definitely part of the reason I've kept my hair white for so long. Great. Not final image. Okay, so this was not drawn by her. Anyways, what made you take up the role? Oh, here we go. This will be good. Let me guess. Well, I was talking to my boyfriend, and he told me he could hook me up with a gig to get me more writing, more credits into gaming, and I could get further in the game industry. Is that it? Aside from having the opportunity to play a battle sister, which I would have said yes to no matter what, I'm also just really excited to be working with Auroch Digital on bolt guns specifically. I have tons of affection for the boomer shooter genre and had a blast playing through the first game. I was even playing through the typing game, DLC, a bunch of times because I thought it was such a fun idea. Executed so well. Nothing about your boyfriend getting you the job, though. That's curious. How would you describe your own experiences with Warhammer as a whole? In general, though I am largely talking about Warhammer 40K since it's a facet I'm most familiar with, I find Warhammer to be an incredibly fulfilling hobby to be part of. I think Warhammer really stands alone in terms of how varied it is as a franchise. There are so many quality video games of pretty much every genre you can think of. Shooters, Blood and Teeth couldn't be more different from Dawn of War. Literally hundreds of books from a huge array of talented authors, incredible animations on Warhammer TV, and that's without even mentioning the tabletop game itself. It tells me when I'm reading through this, she's trying a little too hard and coming off very strong of, oh yeah, I totally know Warhammer. Chat GPT, hook me up with information about what everything Warhammer is to make me sound smart here. This is, at least that's how I'm reading this. It comes across as very try hard, just name dropping everything. It's just, maybe I'm looking too far into it, but or the minis. I especially love checking out the latest Golden Demon winners. It's such a rich, varied franchise. Who talks like this? Which has contributed to by so many talented people of such different vocations since before I was even alive. There's also just something so fun about yelling for the Emperor whenever you meet a fellow Warhammer fan in the wild. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say she has never once done that. Call me crazy. I do not believe her. Sorry. Warcom, the Adepta Saurius are known for their holy trinity of weapons. Are you a bolter, flamer, or melta kind of person? It's hard to deny how iconic the bolter is, and flamers are always fun. But I'm a sucker for the multi-meta for sure. That said, as someone who owns about 8 swords at this point, a power sword is always going to be my go-to, and I'm stoked that Naira has one. A power sliding Melta-sword combo is basically heaven for me. My goodness. That was cringe to get through. Congratulations to Alanah for landing yet another position in the game industry with all the other positions she's had in the game industry. I'm happy for her. I really, bottom of my heart, I think this is for her in her life. I think it's a great thing. As far as games in general, full transparency, I think it's pretty fucked if we're just hiring people based off of who they're dating to work on games. I don't think that's a great direction to be going. But hey, maybe that's just me. Anyways, I'll leave that one there.